Hey, so in today's podcast episode, let's talk about the entrepreneur who no longer wants to wait for success to drop in their lap. They don't want to waste time on distractions. They want to focus on what brings true joy and profit and expansion into their life. And most importantly, they want to move with intention, not out of fear or scarcity. So let's go ahead and get this daily dose and shift our thinking from overthinking to overflow. Welcome to Overthinking to Overflow, the podcast where entrepreneurs and big dreamers like yourself stop standing in the way and start stepping into alignment, clarity, and abundance. I'm Dr. TK, clinical psychologist, business mentor, and your guide to shifting from overthinking to unstoppable action. In each episode, we'll explore mindset shifts, self-care, and aligned strategies to help you reclaim your energy, your time, and purpose so that you can pour into your dreams from a cup that is overflowing. So let's break through the limits holding you back and create the life and business you're destined for. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Dr. TK. So in today's podcast episode, we are going to be breaking down how to truly stop overworking and start earning more and moving like the abundant CEO that you were meant to become. And so this podcast episode comes from something that I've been doing, honestly, on my own in the background related to just some shifts that I also want to make in this new year as it relates to the involvement of my business. And so there's been some changes in my business that we've been pretty much undergoing for a while. But I mean, that's what we signed up for, right? When we have a business, in terms of the forever evolution of things getting better and better. Okay. So in this episode, I'm going to break it down into two different parts. The first part is going to be more like business therapy, where we look at your mindset and what is getting in the way of potentially being broke and being burnt out. And then we're going to get into some strategic tips around how we can shift from overthinking to earning more. Okay. So, mindset tip number one is you are either busy or you are profitable. So, which one are you? So, something to consider is many service providers, because that's who my targeted audience is. Many service providers are typically stuck in the hustle mode. They are stuck in what do I need to do today? They don't plan, but what do I need to do today to get the outcome that I need by the end of today, right? They're not in CEO mode at all because CEOs think in terms of goal setting or at least projects, or they start with the end goal in mind and they reverse engineer. Okay. So maybe you're an individual where you are constantly serving your clients. You are constantly in the DMs. You're constantly trying to figure out what to post. And you're a lot of the time doing more admin work and you're playing small versus actually showing up in your genius zone. So wealth, because wealth to me is time, right? Wealth is built by leveraging your time. It's also built by implementing automation. So every day you get up and you work in your business, because there's a difference between in and on your business. Ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now in my genius zone? And is what I'm doing right now, like, can it be delegated to a system and a process or a person? Wealth is also built on high value offers. We're not just talking about high ticketed offers, but high value offers. Value is attached to the outcome that your product guarantees. Mindset tip number two, stop doing $10 task and start doing $10,000 task. Now that's a word. So when you think about your monetary goal, whether it's 150K, 250K a year, 500K, a million plus, you cannot hit that number if your schedule is filled with things that a customer service rep or VA could do for you. If you do not really value your time, I'm just here to tell you nobody else will. Your clients won't, your kids won't, your partner won't, and your team will not. So the key to truly scaling your business, because the definition of scale is working less while earning more, is that you start shifting your focus on marketing, on building out your brand, actually selling your product, telling people that it is available, and do strategic moves in your business to start scaling your business, which is to pay attention to where your time goes, which should not be in admin. All right, mindset tip number 3 is work smarter, not harder. So this is where we really look at the leadership skills and higher level thinking and decisions. We're talking about systems that generate income when you're asleep. So when you think about a overflow CEO, one that is happy, in peace, they move intentionally, they're strategic, and they don't want to waste their time. So I'm going to give you an example of how this shows up, of course, in the craziest space, because if you've been around, you know I like Disney. So I am a Disney goer as an adult, but I'm also a Disney mom. And I kind of turned my son into that by taking him so many times. However, some people that may go to amusement parks may say the tickets are already ridiculous, and you also want me to buy another ticket to cut the line? Absolutely not. But here's the thing, like if you're at the park for 8, 12, 14 hours, especially if you don't live by the park, you're not from the state, why would you fly all the way out to California or Florida or wherever the park is or location is and spend that money to get in? Spend the money for parking in a hotel. Spend the money for food to only stand in line and get on only 4 rides. Listen to that. So would you rather, yes, pay an additional maybe $200 a person, but let's just say if you don't plan on coming back to this park ever again or in a very long time, because not everybody has the opportunity or desire to go to something over and over again. So what if this was like a once in a lifetime thing or once in a lifetime every 10 years or something like that? Would you rather pay the $200 and skip the lines and enjoy your whole day by actually experiencing the park that you paid for? Or would you rather get on 4 rides and be bitter because now you feel like you've wasted your whole day? That's how I see exchange in my time. So to me, it becomes a game. When I take my family or my son to Disney, because we live right up the street from Disneyland, I will literally do a vlog for our family videos and say, I wonder how many rides we can get on in 4 hours. I'm not standing in these lines just waiting for hours in and out. Absolutely not. So other things that you want to think about when it comes down to systems is automating your business. So again, this can come into categories of delegation. Like if you're hiring somebody, what are the typical documents that they need to be onboarded? And you should have a list if you have different team members for overseas, for example. They have maybe different paperwork you want them to fill out. You have a different set of paperwork for a W-9. You have a different set of paperwork for W-2. For lead generation, how are you getting in front of people that can become a paid client or customer? Some of these things can be automated or at least with systems so that you're operating with a template. How are you marketing on a daily basis, whether it be you or a system, so that your revenue, your income is coming in at some point in your business, even when you are not working? One of my first business mentors told me, you are not at the wealth status if you cannot wake up to money being made on your phone without you having to lift a finger. So other things to think about when you look at systems is create scalable income streams. Now, this can be a topic within itself, but scalable income streams are things that either scale your time, leverage your time, and or like a digital product, you can create it once. Yes, you have to market it, but you don't have to recreate it over and over again. May you enhance it? Of course. But you want to think about in the future adding a stream like a digital download, group programs, or coaching. Now, typically, if you hear anything around group, it's highly suggested that you do one-on-one first to figure out if your vehicle that's helping them get to the transformation actually is working, because you will get more feedback one-on-one. But ultimately, these scalable income streams will allow you to multiply your revenue without multiplying your hours. So let's shift into the strategy part and let's talk about the multi-six-figure brand and business shift of the CEO who doesn't want to be burnt out. So tip number one is you want to automate your business and free up your time. So some of the ways that you can do that is setting up client automated onboarding, setting up a system to follow up with clients. Now, if you're a therapist and you have an EHR, some of this stuff is already embedded in your EHR by notifying you that an updated treatment plan is needed, right? You also can set up automated consultation processes that we teach our clients, automated scheduling systems that remind clients of their session. You can set it up where your system charges the client at a particular interval of time. But ultimately, these things, even though you're setting up time in the beginning to set them up, it saves you time on the back end and down the long run because you're not repeating the same task over and over again. Because remember, time is money and you don't want to be buried in admin tasks. You can also use online marketing to find clients or to help clients find you. You can put things out there as fillers to have other people spread around what you're good at and what you do. This is called like word of mouth referrals. Your brand should be working for you 24/7. It doesn't mean that you work 24/7, but your brand should be on all the time. Okay. Tip number two is delegate and invest in support. So here's where you want to think about that delegation question of, should I really be doing this? Is this in my genius zone? So you can outsource things that drain you so that you can focus on revenue generating tasks that make you good money and you feel good doing it. High level business owners, they actually do not spend hours and hours on the template for their ebook. What does the graphic look like for my slideshow? What do I want my logo to look like? They delegate it out. They don't spend hours cleaning out their inbox or doing miscellaneous admin work. There are people out there who actually love to organize your email box. So let them. So hire a VA, hire a personal assistant, hire an admin assistant in your business that can do a multitude of things. Hire a company to do billing that will free you up to do higher level work that moves the needle. And again, you can hire a person or you can buy a system that does this. Number three, scale beyond one-on-one client. Now, before you scale, you must grow. Just like before you run, you must walk, and before that, you must crawl. But some babies don't crawl for long. Some babies learn how to start running right after they start walking. But ultimately, you want to create a business model that pays you more with less effort. So my model right now is, if it doesn't feel simple, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but if it doesn't feel simple and I start getting frustrated, that is my red flag that something is wrong. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have known for a long time that a high level of frustration is my red flag. Do I ignore it sometimes? Absolutely, because I want it my way or the highway in certain instances in my business. But then I realize later, after I build something out, that it's not in the best interest of either me, my time, our dollars, or the company. At the end of the day, I'm not doing it if it's not in the best interest of the company. So when you think about a service-based business alone, it will not, doing one-on-one therapy, it will not get you long-term wealth. Why? Because you can't earn money if you have to show up. So there are certain scalable products that you do not have to be there for, or it can become part of your legacy. So it can be ebooks, it can be guides. Now you may be wondering, well, what if I want to have a coaching program? That requires me. Well, it does and it doesn't. If I decided to, I can curate a program that requires me to coach because that's the way I designed it. I can say, you know what? We have 6 sessions. I'm going to do 4. And then my support coaches, which are alumni from my program that has been trained and vetted to do certain topics within our community, they're actually going to get paid to come and host a workshop. I'm not losing anything. The clients have already paid the company for the service. What I am doing as a bonus is helping people see that someone else was in their shoes and that they are now growing or scaling their business at another level. So it's like the TA being able to come and do a lecture, but maybe they are more relatable to our clients than sometimes I am. So it's like a win-win situation. But I definitely would ask you to consider what is next, even if you're not working on it yet. So it can be digital products, courses, group coaching programs, but these are things that are key to get you to that multi-six-figure mark, including like workshops, having contractual agreements, all the things. So I really want you to start shifting your identity, your brand beyond the one-on-one chairs. And you really want to shift into, how can I start making higher level CEO decisions for my business? So our final reflection, let's bring it on home. Are you working like a CEO or an overworked employee? Are you using your time strategically or wasting hours on admin or low-level tasks? Do you have systems in place that bring in income without your constant involvement? Are you building wealth, or you're just working for a paycheck even if you pay yourself? So remember, the next level of your business is waiting for you, but it also requires you to shift from busy to profitable. So the real question is, are you actually ready? So what I want you to do, if you are tapping in on YouTube, you can just head down to the description box in the comments. And I want you to tell me one thing that you need to do to stop like acting like an administrator in your company and instead step into the multi-six-figure business owner that you are. What is one thing that you need to stop today? If you are listening on the audio podcast, hop over to YouTube, to the comment section, and tell me your takeaway. You can also hop into my DM on Instagram at Dr. TK Psych. Always check out the show notes, because whatever we have going on, whether it's access to a training, whether it is some guides or ebooks or other business resources that can cater to your needs, always check out the description box and the show notes so that you can get the help that you need, get the mentorship that you need so that you can move into that next level of a CEO. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this daily dose of shifting your mindset from overthinking to overflow. I will talk to you in the next episode. Be sure to like this podcast episode and subscribe to the channel. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into Overthinking to Overflow, where we turn mental blocks into breakthroughs and build a life of alignment and abundance. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs this message. Remember, overflow is your birthright. Get out of your own way, take inspired action, and I will see you in the next episode.